was it out there today?
It was good, man. First day, things were not too fast, but I was just feeling my way around.
How much do they throw at you the first day
Uh,
to try to digest?
yeah, they threw a little bit at me. I was playing like a little bit of every position, but ain't no, football is football. So I was out there just playing fast, competing and stuff.
How'd you end up getting the number 3? Obviously, that number has some history here in Seattle.
Yeah, man, it was Russell Wilson wore it last, so I kind of was looking for single digits. 7 wasn't available, so I was looking at the next, number that could mean something to me. But Russell Wilson was one of my favorite quarterbacks. Growing up with that Legion of Boom defense. You got an offense too, so respect to Russell. He did a lot for this organization. Did everything he could, so I'm doing what I can in this number. I'm making special on defense in my own way. So.
Nick, what was that moment when you stepped on the field? Was it more like I made it, or like okay, it's game time? What was that moment when you stepped in the practice field?
Oh yeah, all that I made it stuff kind of ended like the day after I got drafted. Maybe 2 days after that. Right now, before I even got up here, I was already it's go time. Man, I'm ready. So ready to lock in, ready to get going.
How have these first couple of days in the NFL compared to, say, when you first went to South Carolina? What's it been like in terms of everything the team's asking you to do, and then the speed of the practices and things like that?
Just like how it was when I transitioned from high school to college, from college to NFL, things are a little bit more detailed, a little bit more fast-paced, but they're taking things slow. Rookie minicamp, trying to take things one step at a time. So.
Nick, I saw Mike McDonald talking to you a little bit about alignment and stuff. What were you guys going over in practice today?
Just making sure I was in the right alignment. First day of practice, you can watch all the film you want, or get every note. You can take down every note you want, see it on the big board or whatever. But once you get out there in the field, it's a little bit different. So just make sure I was in the right spot, the right alignment, and reading my keys. So he's been making sure I make sure I'm just reading my keys, going through my progressions, and looking at making it look good out there. So.
And then that you actually telling some of your other teammates, how much is that part of who you are, bringing the back end together?
Say it again?
I saw that after Mike McDonald talked to you, you also telling your teammates, kind of helping them where to line up.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about your leadership and already what you're looking for?
Oh yeah, for sure. Coming in, just want to be a better leader. At South Carolina, especially my last year, had a great defense. So I want to bring that feeling back. Bring it up to Seattle. Even though I'm a rookie, I can make an impact as a rookie. Even when the vets come back. So just trying to get used to that leadership, talking to guys, letting guys know what we're doing, camaraderie. So we only got here for a couple of days, so why not, make friends and get a bond with people. So.
You guys played Alabama this year, and Jalen. You and Jalen talked about that game yet?
Nah, we ain't talk about that game yet, man. I don't want them bad memories, man. So, but Zy Alexander, cornerback from LSU, we had talked about the LSU game, man. So I try to stay away from all that stuff, moving on forward. So.
Sorry, I got to ask one more. You did track Jalen down at one point in that game, right?
Oh yeah, I did. That's funny. You asked Coach Mike on my 30th visit here. He was like, you're the only dude that tracked Jalen Milroe down, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, you think he knows that? I was like, he should. He was like, yeah, he knows. You're the only dude. So it's funny you asked that, but yeah.
How much nickel, if at all, did you play in college?
My sophomore year, I started nickel like 3 to 4 games, and in practice I used to rotate that nickel all the time, so I'm comfortable playing at it.
Did you do much blitzing off the edges?
Not as much. It was more coverage in college, but I did get a couple blitzes to my name, maybe like 15-20%. Majority was coverage.
Is that something you'd like to do more at the NFL level, like Coach McDonald has a local reputation of setting his defensive backs?
Oh yeah, for sure. In the NFL, things are a little bit more cleaner and cut. You can rely on dudes a little bit more to do their job, so it just gives you the opportunity to make more plays and eat. You can trust a dude that's if you're blitzing, he's gonna come take your spot, or if you're not, I'm not blitzing, he's gonna be in the post. So it's a lot more vets, a lot more older dudes. Dudes you can rely on each other. So I'm excited to blitz, make some more plays in the backfield.
What did it mean to you the way Seattle kind of moved up to get you on draft night?
It meant a lot, man. It just showed how much they wanted me, honestly. So after that first round had ended, I was kind of confused about like where I was gonna land, because sometimes you got an idea. But I was kind of like, I wasn't sure where I was going to be at. So I was looking at the teams. I think it was like Cleveland, Tennessee. A lot of teams were lined up, but I knew Seattle was like pick 18. So I was like, Seattle's out the picture maybe. And then when I got the phone call, I was kind of confused on like who was really calling, because I was seeing a different team on the clock. And then when they called, I was kind of like trying to put 2 and 2 together. But until he told me like on the phone, like we're trading up to get you. And I was like, okay, it makes sense. So I was pretty excited, super stoked out. I know the whole staff are super excited to come get me, really pumped up. So it just meant a lot.
What was the wave of emotions like, where you go from, like you said, confusion, probably wanting to be a day one pick, and then all of a sudden being off the board? Just what's the roller coaster like on a day like that?
Honestly, man, the draft, you never really know what it feels like until you go through it. So, like, even, like, when the first pick starts in the first round, it's like you still kind of getting nervous, even though you're not really projected to go there. So it's like the clock is ticking and everyone's getting their call. You just keep looking at your phone like, I wonder if you're going to get that call, And then when it gets close, like the crunch time, last 5 picks in the first round, it's starting to really settle in. Like, you're waiting for that call. But, the call ain't end up coming. So my mind was just kind of all over the place. But I realized, I was going to go early in day 2. So, I just took it as, I'm going to show the rest of the teams that passed on me. I can't wait to show them what type of player I am and just make them regret it. Every year in the NFL draft, looking forward or looking back in hindsight, it's always that one player like, oh, how did he fall in this round or what happened? So just, ready to show my mark in the NFL.
What is your impression of Seattle, your first practice here?
Beautiful. Honestly, I never really seen like a practice environment. Like, got the what is that, the lake? Yeah, got the lake view right on the side. Weather ain't too crazy. I ain't seen none of the crazy weather. They say it rains out here or something. So the weather been good. It's beautiful out here. So.
You talked to Kam after you get drafted?
I did. Kam Chancellor, actually, before I even got drafted that first night, he had texted me. He had sent me a message, like, out the blue. It was like, hey, man, wherever you end up, go grind hard. Just a little heartfelt message. And that was one of my, favorite safeties, again, growing up. So I was showing my brothers and like, oh, Kam Chancellor just woo-woo. So when I got drafted by Seattle, I thought him texting me was like maybe he had an inside, like, okay, I'm going to Seattle. But after I got drafted, he told me, he was like, look at God, man, what a coincidence. So just Kam Chancellor, he a great dude, man. I'm going to be reaching out to him for advice and how he made his way through here, try to make my own way.
When you get people talking about Derwin James, Kam Chancellor, Kyle Hamilton, do you like those expectations, or you kind of want to make your own way?
Honestly, man, I love those expectations, but of course I'm gonna make my own imprint on the league. I think I bring a different skill set than every one of those guys, but I mean those are great people to be compared to, especially Derwin James, Kyle Hamilton. Those dudes I watch the most as far as like film, and both of those dudes are kind of like I reach out to those dudes, try to get some information from them. So just excited to make my mark in the NFL.
All right, thanks, Nick.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, man.